The ballroom glittered with wealth. Golden chandeliers cast their glow over a sea of tuxedos and designer gowns. Cameras flashed, laughter rippled, and in the center stood Ethan Vale, the youngest billionaire in New York's real estate world. At 32, he looked like a man who had everything a new mansion, a thriving empire, and a fiancée who could grace any magazine cover. Her name was Isabella Hart, the kind of woman whose beauty made rooms fall silent. But beneath the diamond smile was a heart colder than the champagne she sipped. Tonight was their engagement party, the night society would celebrate their love, and yet just beyond the velvet ropes, a woman stood trembling in the rain. She wasn't dressed for a night like this. Her shoes were worn, her coat soaked through, her eyes full of a quiet determination that didn't belong to the world inside those gilded walls. Her name was Naomi Brooks, and she had come here for one reason, to find Ethan Vale. She didn't want money. She didn't want revenge. She wanted truth. When the guard at the gate refused to let her in, Naomi pleaded softly, "Please, tell Mr. Vale that Naomi needs to see him. It's urgent. He'll understand." But the guard shook his head. No invites, no entry. Before she could say more, the sound of laughter drew everyone's eyes. Isabella and Ethan were stepping out toward their guests. Cameras turned, people cheered, and then Isabella's eyes landed on Naomi. The change was instant. Her smile stiffened. She walked forward slowly, heels clicking on the marble, and said loud enough for the crowd to hear, "Oh, this is adorable. The help must have gotten lost. Are you here to serve drinks, sweetheart?" Naomi swallowed, her voice soft but steady. "I'm here to talk to Ethan." Isabella's eyes gleamed. "You know Ethan?" She gave a mocking laugh. "Darling, everyone says that. Maybe you're another one of those fangirls, Ethan frowned, glancing between them. "Isabella, enough. Let her speak." The guest shifted uncomfortably. Rain dripped from Naomi's coat as she reached into her bag. She pulled out a small folded paper. Her hands shook as she offered it to him. "Please, just look." Isabella rolled her eyes. "What is this? Another charity sob story?" Ethan unfolded the paper. His expression changed immediately. His breath caught. It wasn't just a paper. It was an ultrasound image. A tiny heartbeat, his child's. The ballroom fell silent. The laughter, the clinking glasses, the shallow conversations, all of it disappeared into stunned stillness. Ethan's fingers trembled as he looked from the ultrasound to Naomi. "Naomi, this is mine?" Her lips quivered, but she nodded. "Yes, it's yours." Isabella's face went pale. What is this joke?" she hissed. Naomi didn't raise her voice, didn't cry. Her calmness cut deeper than anger ever could. "I didn't come to ruin anything," she whispered. "I just thought you had the right to know." Ethan looked torn, his face a map of disbelief and guilt. He remembered the night months ago, before his engagement when he and Naomi had been together. She wasn't just anyone. She'd been the woman who worked at the community housing project he funded, the woman who believed in kindness, who refused his money when he tried to help, the woman he hadn't called back, because he'd thought their worlds were too far apart. And now she stood before him, carrying his child. Isabella's laughter came sharp and cruel. "Oh, come on, Ethan. You're not actually believing this, are you? Look at her. She's clearly playing you." Naomi took a slow step back, rain streaking down her face. "I don't want anything from you," she said softly. "Not money, not your name. I just wanted you to know you're going to be a father." And with that, she turned to leave. Ethan's heart pounded as he watched her disappear into the dark street, her small umbrella trembling against the storm. He couldn't breathe. He couldn't shake the image, the ultrasound, the heartbeat, the soft look in her eyes that wasn't anger, but sadness. And for the first time in his carefully controlled life, Ethan Vale didn't feel powerful. He felt haunted. That night, while the party went on, he sat alone in his study, staring at the ultrasound again. Isabella barged in, furious. "You are not seriously falling for this, Ethan," she snapped. "Women like her, they trap men like you every day." But Ethan didn't answer. He couldn't stop seeing Naomi's face, the quiet pain she tried to hide. She didn't look like someone chasing money, he murmured. She looked like someone telling the truth. Isabella scoffed. If you walk out that door to find her, don't bother coming back. Ethan looked up at her, eyes cold now. Then I guess this engagement was never about love. And before she could stop him, he left, out into the rain, chasing the woman he should never have let go. The city was quiet now. Midnight rain washed the streets clean, blurring reflections of neon lights and memories Ethan couldn't escape. His car slowed near the small apartment complex Naomi had once mentioned, the one she said felt like home because the people here cared more about hearts than money. He parked, stepped out into the drizzle, and for a moment just stood there unsure if he had the right to knock on her door. But guilt is a powerful thing. It pushes you toward the truth, no matter how much it hurts. When Naomi opened the door, she looked surprised but not angry. Her eyes were tired, her hair damp, a blanket wrapped around her shoulders. The same ultrasound photo lay on the small table beside her, next to a cup of cooling tea. "Ethan," she said quietly. He took a breath. "Naomi, I didn't know. I swear, I didn't know." "I know," she said, softly, her tone calm. "That's why I came. Not to blame you, not to destroy your life, just to tell you the truth before it was too late." He stepped closer. "Too late for what?" She hesitated, eyes lowering to her belly. "Too late for you to be a part of this." Silence hung between them, gentle, heavy, real. "I thought I was doing you a favor," she whispered. "You belong to a world I could never fit into. I didn't want to drag you into mine." Ethan's voice broke. "Naomi, you were the only part of my life that ever felt real. Everything else, it's all noise, money, business, fake smiles. But that night with you, it wasn't a mistake." Naomi blinked back tears. "Ethan, you're engaged." "Not anymore," he said, almost to himself. "I ended it." She stared at him, searching his face for truth. "You gave up everything for this? For me?" He shook his head. "Not for you. For what's right. For the child I almost didn't know existed. For the man I still want to become." The rain softened outside. Naomi's breath trembled. "I don't need your fortune, Ethan," she said. "I just need someone who won't disappear when things get hard." He reached out, gently taking her hand. "Then let me start tonight." Her eyes closed, tears slipping down her cheeks, not of pain this time, but of release. Outside, the storm broke into silence. Months later, at a small clinic, Ethan sat beside Naomi as the doctor turned the screen toward them. A soft flicker pulsed, tiny, strong, alive. Ethan's hand tightened around hers, voice cracking as he whispered, "That's our baby." Naomi smiled through tears. "You finally saw what I saw that night." And as they watched their child's heartbeat glow across the screen, Ethan realized something no amount of wealth could buy: the beauty of being chosen not for what he had, but for who he was finally becoming.